Hello students, now let us classify the crystalline solids. Crystalline solids can be classified into 4 different categories which will be depending upon the type of constant particles which are present in between the crystalline solid and the nature of attractive force which is present in the constant particles. The first crystalline solid is ionic crystal, the second one is covalent network crystal, the third one is molecular crystal, and the last one is metallic crystal. Let us discuss first about ionic crystal. In ionic crystal, ions are the constituent particles and thus ions are called as cations and anions. In ionic crystal, there is three-dimensional arrangement of cations and anions you can see. And these cations and anions are held together by a strong electrostatic force of attraction and which is called as Coulombic force. Each ions are present in ionic crystal are surrounded by its oppositely charged ion. Now you can see the negatively charged ion is surrounded by a positively charged ions. It means that each ion which are present in the ionic crystals are surrounded by its oppositely charged ion. Because of strong electrostatic force of attraction, these ions are not free to move and are closely packed, and hence thus ionic crystals are hard and brittle solid. This ionic crystals also passes high melting point and boiling point. Being ionic in nature, this ionic crystal is soluble in water which is behave as a polar solvent. But this ionic crystal is insoluble in non-polar solvent. Ionic crystal which is act as an insulator in solid state, but in an aqueous solution or in a molten state, this ionic crystal is act as a very good conductor of electricity. And this ionic crystal also passes high heat of fusion. Here is the question which will come in our mind, that is, why ionic solids are good conductor in molten state or in aqueous solution and which is bad conductor in the solid state. As we know, electrical conductivity, it is depend on the movement of ion, means it is depend on the cations and anion. In solid state, these ions are held together by a strong electrostatic force of attraction, and because of that, these ions are present in the fixed position and therefore they are not free to move. It means that the movement of ion, it is not there because of strong electrostatic force of attraction which is present in the solid state. But in molten state, individual ions are free to move, and as we apply the potential difference, these ions are act as a charge carrier and they become a good conductor of electricity, and therefore we can say ionic solids are good conductor in molten state and not in the solid state. Here these some examples of ionic crystals are sodium chloride, potassium sulfate, calcium fluoride and potassium chloride. Now let us discuss about covalent crystal. So these are the crystalline solid and in which the constituent particles are non-metal atom, and thus non-metal atoms are linked to adjacent atom by a covalent bond throughout the crystal structure, and as a result the network of covalent bond is formed and which gives a rigid three-dimensional giant molecule. Thus covalent bonds are strong and directional in nature. Due to the large network of covalent bond, these solids are also known as network solid. Because of rigidity and strongly bonded structure, these covalent network crystals are very hard and brittle. And because of this hardness, these covalent network crystals are incompressible, and also they have extremely high melting point and boiling point, but they decompose before their melting point. These covalent network crystals are bad conductor of heat and electricity. It is because of absence of free ion. One of the most common example of this covalent network crystal is diamond, and if you see in the structure of diamond, each carbon atom is linked together by a 4 covalent bonds and it gives a three-dimensional network structure. There is one exception whose properties are quite different from the other example of this covalent crystal, and the exception is graphite. This graphite, it is actually a covalent solid which is soft and good conductor of electricity. And the exceptional behavior of this graphite, it is because of typical layer structure. In graphite, each carbon atoms are arranged in a different layer. And as we know that carbon atom is tetravalent in nature and has 4 valence electron in their structure. In each layer, one carbon atom is bonded to 3 other neighboring atoms within the same layer. And the 4th valence electron of each carbon atom remain unbonded and is present in between the layer. If you see in this structure, the 4th valence electron is unbonded and is present in between the layer. This 4th valence electron is free to move within this structure. When potential difference is applied, this free electron acts as a charge carrier, and thus only make graphite as a good conductor of electricity. The force of attraction between each layer of graphite is very weak, and because of this very weak force of attraction, different layers can be easily slide over the one another, and this only make this graphite as a soft and good solid vehicle. The some best example of this covalent network crystals are diamond, we already learned about it, quartz, boron nitride and silicon carbide. Now we will talk about molecular crystal, or which is also called as molecular solid. In molecular crystal, the constituent particles are molecules. Depending upon the nature of molecules, these crystals are classified into 3 types. One is polar molecular solid, the second one is non-polar molecular solid, and third one is hydrogen bonded molecular solid. First we will see what are polar molecular solid. In polar molecular solid, the constituent particles are polar molecule. Then what is meant by this polar molecules? Polar molecule is a chemical species and in which the electron distribution in between covalently bonded atom is not same, and therefore them we call as polar molecule. The example of this polar molecule is HCl, water and SO2. If you talk about HCl, in this case, chlorine is more electronegative as compared to hydrogen, and the distribution of electron in between chlorine and hydrogen is not same, and therefore it is example of polar molecule. The molecule of these solids are held together by a dipole-dipole force of attraction, and therefore this we also call as dipole-dipole interaction. Due to the presence of dipole-dipole interaction, these solids are soft and their melting and boiling points are comparatively higher than those of the nonpolar solid. These covalently bonded molecules exist in gaseous or liquid state at normal condition of temperature and pressure. Now let us study about nonpolar molecular solid. In nonpolar molecular solid, the constituent particles are either atoms or nonpolar molecules. Atoms like noble gases, helium, neon, argon, krypton and xenon, etc. or the nonpolar molecules like H2, Cl2, I2 and methane. So these are the noble gases and nonpolar molecules are the constituent particle of this nonpolar molecular solid. Generally, this nonpolar molecular solids are liquid and gaseous at room temperature, but they exist as a solid at supercooled temperature. In this solid, the electron cloud is symmetrically distributed and molecules does not have polarity. But sometimes this nonpolar molecule lose their symmetry in electron cloud distribution for shorter time, and they produce instantaneous dipole. This dipole distort the electron cloud of the neighboring atom or nonpolar molecule and produce dipole moment in between them. Now the electrostatic force of attraction between this instantaneous dipole are called as dispersion force or London force. Due to the presence of weak force, these solids have low melting point and boiling point. Now let us study about hydrogen bonded molecular solid. In hydrogen bonded molecular solid, the constituent particles are molecules and which contain hydrogen atom which is bonded to highly electronegative atom like oxygen, nitrogen and fluorine. These are the examples of hydrogen bonded molecular solid in which hydrogen atom is bonded to highly electronegative atoms like oxygen, nitrogen and fluorine. The link between hydrogen atom and highly electronegative atom of its neighboring molecule is known as hydrogen bond. and the hydrogen bond is represented by a dotted line. Due to the presence of strong hydrogen bond, these solids have higher boiling point and melting point as compared to polar solid and non-polar solid. These solids are poor conductor of electricity and they exist as volatile liquid and soft solid at room temperature and pressure. Now we will see the last type of crystalline solid, that is metallic crystal. In metallic crystal, the constituent particles are metal ions and free electrons. As we know, metal have a tendency to lose the electron and become positively charged ion. This group of positively charged metal ions are called as kernels, and the electrons can easily flow throughout the metal crystal, and therefore we can say positively charged metal ions are present in a sea of electrons. These mobile electrons are attracted by the positively charged ion and hold these ions together. The attractive force that hold the kernels and the mobile electron in a metallic solid is called as metallic bond. Due to the presence of this strong metallic bond, these metallic crystals have high melting point and boiling point. The free electrons which are present in metallic crystals are responsible for high electrical and thermal conductivity of metal. In fact, the color of certain metals are also due to the presence of this free electron. Some best example of this metallic crystals are sodium, potassium, lithium, iron, silver, gold and cobalt. So this is all about, we have learned classification of crystalline solid in this lecture, which is easy to understand.